Welcome, 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 everyone. This is Tracy Una Wagner with Versatile Inspirations and the Lightworkers and Earth Angels Academy and Study Hall. And this is your weekly energy foresight for November 15th through the 21st. And for all of November, we have been working with the Green Witch Tarot deck, and that is by Moura. And the art is by Kiri, Østergaard, Leonard. There is a lot of energy that swirls around these last 3 months of the year. And this November, it's kind of a doozy. We actually had the 11/11 portal last week, and this week we have a lunar eclipse. And with that lunar eclipse, that full moon is called the full morning half-blood beaver moon. And that lunar eclipse offers that darkness, a little bit of that darkness, that shadow side, looking into that shadow of ourself a little more, delving into that. So you may feel like some of the shadows that have been in the shadows for your personality or just your overall feeling, your overall being may crop in this week. And that lunar eclipse is around the 19th of the month. Working with this week's reading, just know to be gentle with yourself, allow yourself to see those shadowy sides and maybe work with them a little bit, but also offer yourself some gentleness, some kindness, and at times we're going to need some gratitude and forgiveness. So just know that it may be kind of a tough week going in with this lunar eclipse, but we can do it. It's part of our seasons of change and really kind of working with the ideas of learning more about yourself, learning about what makes you tick, and seeing those things, trying to figure out if they are all needed. Some of them have been in there for so long that we just need to let some things go, and being gentle with yourself and being strong. And this reading this week really kind of taps into that as well. Though it's a great reading, it really is. What we've got from the Green Witch Tarot is some beautiful ideas that can help us get through this week on a high note. So just be gentle with yourself, like I said. That's what I really wanted to share with you for this week, especially. I know that 11/11 portal kind of amps up our energy, and it was a great week for learning last week. But this week, we're kind of needing to be a little bit more gentle with ourselves because of this lunar experience that we're going to be going through with that eclipse, and just working with that. So the card that came through for November 15th through the 21st is the Four of Wands. And the message that came through the Four of Wands is, you may be receiving bountiful rewards from your new skill, trade, or hobby already. It might not be monetary quite yet, but this card is coming to let you know your efforts are being fruitful and creating space for any and all types of success to be brought your way. Continue learning, sharing, and creating to maximize your earning potential. Blessings abound. So as you can see, we're kind of working with money, or the idea of receiving. Some of us have a difficult time receiving, and that may be something that crops up through this lunar experience. You may start feeling like, oh, I don't need to receive anything for this new skill or hobby that is coming through. Maybe we need to work with that. Maybe we need to work with the idea of giving and receiving. When you give of your time and your efforts, it is that flow in the universe to receive something for it. I know a lot of people say, well, the feelings I get are enough for me. And that's great as long as you can be sustained in some other way. If you have a day job where you are getting your monetary funds from, where it allows you your housing, your food, your electricity, and whatever else it is that you require, that's great. Then the feelings are just that extra boost. But know that those feelings are still there, even if you receive monetary assistance for your giving. If you're doing energy healing and it's hard for you to receive monetary things for your time and effort of being a healer, that's not helpful for you to live. A lot of times this occurs because of a past life issue that you had with either and quite a few of us were witches at one point, or what people termed as witches. We may not have been a witch. We may have been just an energy healer, or we may have worked with divination tools, or we just may have had the gift of knowledge. We may have been a channel or just an oracle. So people may have put derogatory terms on you at that point, and it stuck with you through lifetimes. And that is part of your shadow side. That's kind of down deep. And that's one of those ways where past life regression and just going into a state of meditation and asking your spirit team to focus in on helping you learn more about your past life. These can be very helpful to release that old baggage or those old contracts, those old patterns, or just those old hurts that we had at a time when people just didn't understand what it was your gifts truly were. And that really does have a negative connotation to what you're doing now. It may just be something that inherently from past lives and future lives, you are just a natural healer, or you're a natural witch, or you're a natural oracle, or just, and it doesn't even matter what it is, but not everyone is going to view what you do or say or be as positive. And that's okay. They're not part of your tribe. They're not part of your group. They're not part of your, should not be part of your space, because that's just bringing you down. And actually, that's what builds up those little shadow areas. And then when we're still and we're quiet, that comes out why we actually feel maybe bad or not willing to receive because we couldn't before. Also, with that idea of reciprocity, a lot of people think that it has to be monetary, and it doesn't have to be, especially when you're just learning a skill. Even feedback is reciprocity. Even feedback is learning how it affected people, what people think of it. But there again, take it in as if it's a third person. You're just kind of trying to figure out what's going on with this new skill or new hobby or whatever it is that you're learning. And it may be something that is just a hobby. It may not be something that is going to be your business or career. But for a lot of us, I think because of this new world and this new you, I think a lot of these more esoteric things are going to start kind of happening to us and making us feel like we need to delve into them a little bit. It could be even religious, something that is just pulling you, those things. And it may be that it is a career change or a business opportunity that pops up through it. Be open to that idea of reciprocity, be open to that idea of monetary funds coming your way to support you in this new venture that you are looking into. So just be open. I know that sometimes it's very difficult when we're having to deal with something like money or just that bounty that can be coming to us so easily and effortlessly, just like those universal laws. One of them is by you receiving exactly what you need. And if you'd prefer or like to, you can manifest that into your life if you have a certain number that you're seeking. If you're looking to change jobs or quit your job altogether and go into this new hobby or skill that you're learning as your means of living and surviving and being bountiful in this life, then work with that idea of manifesting the number in which that you need to feel comfortable and safe and secure. And that is what the universe will see as what you need. For midweek and end week, it felt very feminine to me to have to work with this, even though funds and monetary really is kind of that masculine thing, or we view it as masculine. The ideas in which that this is coming, delving into our feelings about those things, really felt feminine to me. So I decided to go with Goddess Guidance Oracle cards for the midweek and end week, and that's by Hay House. And the first card that came through for the 15th through the 18th, or Monday through Thursday, is Hathor. And, I feel like every week when I pull these cards that go along with the reading, it just feels like that's the perfect card. And this is. So for Hathor, the idea is receptivity. Allow yourself to receive. This will increase your intuition, energy, and ability to give to others. Isn't that a great card? That's so true. And when we allow ourselves the idea of the recepting, that reception of what we need to survive, what we need to feel comfortable, not just surviving because we're going to survive, and we'll make it so that we survive in one way or another, but really surviving and receiving what we need and maybe more, because that's how we feel comfortable, is when we have enough, when we look and we go, that is enough, and I can give to others in that manner. And when we are able to do that and continue with that flow of energy of giving and receiving, that is when everything is as it should be. We are getting enough or more. And to me, enough means you have more. When you receive enough, that means you have more than enough, because then you're able to contribute to that energy flow of giving and receiving. So that's what I mean by enough. Not just enough, but enough to be able to give and receive. So that whole idea of reciprocity, of being able to receive, the reception of the gifting to us, being able to do that, know that when that happens, then the energy flows more, the universe gives us more, because we're in a state of love, we're in a state of acceptance, we're in a state of being able to see the blessings that are all around us and be able to tap into that energy as well. Those high vibes are what creates even more for us in our lives. So work with Hathor, with that idea of receptivity, of monetary, of being able to receive information on what you're learning, and being able to be receptive on all fronts that are for your highest and best good. And I think that will really help the beginning of this week as we head into that lunar eclipse. All right, for end week, and that is when we have the lunar eclipse, is right there at that transition. So between Thursday and Sunday, or the 18th through the 21st. The card that came through is Sekhmet. And it says, be strong. You are stronger than you think you are, and your strength assures a happy outcome. So what a perfect card to go into this lunar eclipse. And this is the time when you may be really struggling with that shadow side, struggling with the idea maybe of that receiving your bounty. Maybe it is that you're struggling with the idea of leaving your job or starting a new business, or even just receiving monetary funds, or something that is coming to you for this new skill or job or whatever it is, hobby that you've been learning. Be strong in knowing that just because these shadows are there does not mean that you can't continue to do it, especially in this idea of past lives and future lives, and thinking that you were condemned or belittled or an outcast because of things that you may have done. We've already talked about it, witchcraft, or being an oracle, or energy healing, or working with herbs. Big moments like that, big moments, whether they're happy or they are very bad, have a tendency to stay in our energy, and we need to constantly clean that out. But if we haven't cleaned it out, or if it was a big deal, big deal, especially in the idea of being bad, like being burned at the stake, or being an outcast and having to survive and possibly passing from being an outcast, those traumatic experiences stay locked up in there. And that's what may be coming through for you this week, especially at the end of this week with this lunar eclipse. So just know that Sekhmet is there to help you be strong. That goddess within, whether you're male or female, it doesn't matter. You still have that goddess energy within. You have that God and goddess energy within. You have that strength to be able to tackle any of these instances. And this is just one of them. This is just one of those things that we have to work through. And because we have the idea of that reciprocity, or that bounty, or receiving our due, monetarily, anything that helps us in this material world from those skills that we have or that we're learning, being able to be strong in the fact that we are doing what we need to be doing. We are learning something that is for our highest and best good. And because of that, we can share that with others, and that is going to be a light to the world. And no matter what happened in our past, we are working in it now in this new world. And because of that, this new world, we're opening up to the ideas that this can be accepted. This can be acceptable in this new world. And we may be a front runner with something, and that's okay. You may be innovative and learning or experiencing or creating something new for this world that will help us and help others. So just know that because of that, we can experience the bounty that we truly deserve. So be strong, even if you're having to work through these shadow sides. Just be strong. Tap into Sekhmet and tap into Hathor to know that that receptivity can be open for us. This week especially, it may be a little bit difficult this week, especially with the lunar eclipse, but just know that last week we were probably riding a high with that knowing of that skill or that hobby. It was probably like so energizing. Things we were learning so quickly. And then this week we're learning about how to be bountiful, how to be grateful and thankful. And then we're also learning to how maybe be forgiving of those things that may have kept us down in a past life or in our past this life. So just know that we can work with Hathor, we can work with Sekhmet, and we can work with all of our other gods and goddesses and with our other spirit team members to help us to really shine forth, to really know that we deserve everything that we can possibly imagine in this life right now at this time. All right. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I so appreciate it. And if you are in the Lightworkers and Earth Angels study hall, you will be getting your card underneath this video in the comment section. And your personal card will be coming from the Goddess Guidance Oracle deck. So see those below in the comments. Please feel free to like, subscribe, and share this video, and I will see you next Monday for another reading. As always, I'm sending you and yours love, light, and eternal blessings. Take care.